You now are listening to the audio podcast of Prisoners of Hope, the antidote to what ails your heart. I'm your host, Dr. Debbora Whitson. So come on in, pull up a chair, and open up your mind as you get ready to receive the download that hope will bring. Good day, everybody. This is the third and final part of the interview, The Man Behind the Music. I'm interviewing my good pathway friend, Vince Johnson. So enjoy.
I was aware. I had to be aware. I had to be aware.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's right.
She comes to the studio and I asked her to sing a couple of lines, Prisoners of Hope. And that's what we are.
Mhm.
And I explained a little bit about it to her. And she did all those lines. Everything she did was one take.
Wow.
And that generally is how things come together.
Mhm.
She had worked with other people before and just did not have a good experience. She had a good musical outcome because the music that I heard was what really attracted me. She had a good musical outcome, but her personal outcome experience for her wasn't good. And I believe that they have a philosophy that I don't wield. I don't work through that philosophy. I work through the philosophy of finding the gift inside the individual. As a free man, my theme is as a free man in a free world. I
Right.
I am a finder of treasures, protector of the innocent, and a healer.
Awesome.
And so that's what I walk by. So when she comes to my studio, it was already the studio. The Holy Spirit the ground had already been laid.
That's right.
And she brought this little dog, and the little dog is just running around the studio, jiggling with a little chain. I said, well, let's take his chain off, but he's welcome to just keep running around. And he's a sweet little dog. This little dog is as cute as can be. And he's just like, she's singing, and he's just running in between my legs. and God told me that's okay. That's okay. Because you're leaving space for the Holy Spirit to walk through.
Awesome.
And that's how that, and she sung it down and all that stuff in one take. And it actually happened so fast. I kind of felt like, well, it needs to be harder than this.
Yeah. Don't we do that? It's
Yeah.
gotta be more. All I can,
Like-
all I have to do is ask, I will receive.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, what is that? It like that, and I listened back to it, and it brought me to tears. It brought her to tears. She's like, wow.
Yeah.
She's like, is that me? I'm like, yeah, that's you. Sounds pretty doggone good, doesn't it? She's like, yeah. And she wasn't expecting to get paid, but she got paid. And that even made it better because you have to honor a talent. Right?
That's right.
And so you and I both paid her, and she was very, very ecstatic about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that came to pass.
It's so beautiful. I listen to it all the time. I'm like, I want to hear the rest of the song. But I just want you guys as the audience to realize all the miracles that took place, all of the shoestring connections. He goes to eat breakfast, and I say to God, no, this is so interesting because God told me to do this podcast a long time ago. I'm like, I do. But I don't know. I need music. I need equipment. And everything started falling together.
Right.
And the music with Vince. I mean, to have somebody do this that is that talented, you guys, it's got to be God. I mean, can you see the connections? Can you see the pathway? And Vince, you were talking about the step of faith. That reminds me of one of the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. Do you remember that? Where he was that he had to go from one canyon to another,
Right.
and he had to take the step of faith.
Right.
And as he took the step, I know this is not biblical, but as he took the step,
Right.
the foundation appeared for him to walk across.
That's right.
And so this is basically what you said. You just can't sit. You got to get out there. You have to be aware.
Right.
You have to take the step. He will not drive a parked car.
Right. That's right.
You got to put it in drive and turn the key and start going. I think it's just such a miracle, and she's so talented. As you listen to that song for the intro and the outro for this podcast,
Yes.
Vince, what advice would you give to someone trying to discover a home their God-given gifts?
I would. Wow, that's a good question. I would definitely say get your heart and your mind in sync.
Awesome.
And hurry up and fail.
Hurry up and fail. What Churchill said, "I'd run from failure to failure with
That's
great."
right. Hurry up and fail.
Hurry up and fail.
Get busy living or get busy dying, because
That's right.
we are yet just a vapor in this huge universe.
That's right. Just a moment.
It's just a fleeting moment. It is. And so, get out there, get after it. And if you don't know what your passion is, try something. Try it.
That's right.
Because you never know. Just as an example for me, I didn't go to school for education. I went to school for film scoring, music production, engineering, music industry studies, which is business side of things too. Never once did I think, well, I'm going to be a teacher. Well, I took over a classroom for a friend of mine, and she was having a baby. And lo and behold, I didn't realize that I'm a pretty doggone good teacher. I enjoy young people. They enjoy me. I was able to, after a little training, to get control of my classroom. Because 6th graders to 12th graders, they're all fine, except the 7th graders are absolutely evil. I love them still, but I tell you, they're my they were my challenge.
Demon speed.
But I didn't know that I was good at it, and I had a passion for it until I tried it.
Awesome.
So you have to go after things. Fail fast. Pick yourself up. Try something else. Try it again. I tell all my young people, go after it. Don't sit. Don't wait. Time is of the essence.
That's right.
And you have to go after your dreams. And if you don't have a dream, go after getting a dream.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourself in the stream.
That's right.
So you can catch the current.
That's right.
It's just very interesting when you talk about teaching, because I think of the way they went to the moon, and a lot of people don't know this. They didn't do a straight line. They would correct.
Right.
When this way, 30 degrees that way. I don't know degrees because I'm not an astronaut, but they would correct. They were constantly correcting their course.
Right.
So a journey with God is never straight up. There's a lot of turns and valleys that actually could lead to your glory.
Right.
Because you talk and it's very interesting, because similar thing happened to me. I was working in advertising business. I went to school for consumer psychology and was working in advertising business. And the pitcher, because the way the advertising business happens is that the agency will pitch an account.
Mm-hmm.
And the pitcher lost his voice. That was when the Bears went undefeated, I think in 1986. I'm dating myself. And Sweetness was one of our clients, and and he was there for the pitch, and the pitcher lost his voice because he'd been screaming at the playoff game the night before. And so one of the people called me, because I was a liaison between the suits, which are the MBA students, and the creative, because my gift is always to take complex things and kiss them and make them simple, sweetheart. And the one guy said, Deborah can talk. Bring her up here. And I start pitching accounts. Every account I pitched, I won.
Wow.
One of the pictures is like I'm like 10 accounts in, traveling all over the country pitching accounts for the agency. And one of the pictures said, DePaul University needs a teacher. Don't you have a degree in marketing? I said, no, it's consumer behavior. Ah, it's marketing. And they need a teacher because he wanted me out of the pitching because he hadn't won anything since I got in. And I did. And I started teaching and 50 years later being a college professor. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Because I would have never ever I've never been a shy person, but I never thought that I would want to be a be a performer because college, well, I was a performer.
And you're funny. And you're funny too.
So so I was a performer, and so it was just absolutely amazing, and it was like 50 years of not working, if that's I did
Mhm.
work, but I didn't feel like I was looking at the clock. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And I just pray for them to find their God-given gift, because I think when you find that, it might look terrifying to somebody else.
Right.
Like when I say, "Oh, Vince, I need a song," and you're like, "Okay, what do you think about this?" I'm like, "How do you do that?" If somebody says, "I need a song," I'll be like, "Oh, we, oh," what kind of song? Kill me because I can't write you a song.
Well, we're
So
well, we're listening, just like when, as you're a professor, you're listening to your audience. You know what those students need because they are. This goes back to it. They're emitting a frequency,
yes,
and you know what to say. The Holy Spirit taps you on the shoulder and says, "Somebody here is gonna need this." And lo and behold, you give it to them, and then after class, they come up to you and go, "How did you know?"
how did you know? I know. How did you know? It's just
Right.
but God is amazing, and I just wanted everybody to meet who you are, because I consider you my little brother, and
Yeah.
I'm so enamored. I know somebody famous. I'm just so happy, and I guess that people tell you, "Hurry up," because I wanna go to the Academy Awards. But thank you for
Thank you.
spending the time. I really appreciate, and as I was listening to you, you have a good voice for voiceovers too. I was listening
Ah,
to you. Your voice is deep and commanding. I'm like, "My goodness, he has a good voice for that." I wonder if he knows that too. So
well, my better half, my wife has told me that it's time for me to
oh,
step into that realm, which is another thing. Don't be
yes,
afraid. Go
don't be
after it. And if you're scared, do it scared.
Do It Scared Anyway. Joyce Meyer's her latest book is Do It Scared
That's
Anyway.
right.
Do it afraid anyway.
Yep.
So yes, I think your wife, your better half, that's why we call her your better half,
Right.
it is definitely right on when because I listen to you speak and your voice is so calm, and I'm like, oh, all right. This is very, very good. But I want to thank you again. I don't want to take any more of your time. I do want to thank you for taking the time
You're very
to
much.
tell the audience about your journey, and this will bring you hope for the future. Until next time, God bless.
God bless and thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, this is the end of part 3 of the interview, The Man Behind the Music. I hope my good friend Vince is able to touch your heart so you too can seek out your purpose. And once you seek it out, he gave you some indications of how to keep it going. Well, you have a pleasant day and God bless. Signing off, Dr. D. My hope is that this journey has been fruitful and you're able to take it and apply it to your life. Until next time, tune in again for the Prisoners of Hope podcast. God bless.